Is that?
Hello, sir.
Hi. How are you, Ekene? How's it going?
I'm good, Moses. Daniel, how are you?
Not bad at all.
Wow.
Fantastic. Good to meet you.
Yeah, same here. So tell me, what side of UK do you live in?
I live in Bromley. I live in Kent, Bromley.
Oh, okay.
What about you? Where do you live?
Just in not outside London, Watford.
Watford. Oh, not that
Mm-hmm.
bad. Not that far at all.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Great to connect. Great
Yeah.
work you're doing. I read a little stuff on your social media. Great work you're doing.
Okay. Yeah. I've been looking at listening to you, watching your videos, and I think it's good for us to talk, you know.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Grab.
yeah.
It is because we need to do more, don't we?
Oh
You
yes,
know,
oh
we need
yes.
to do more. When you look at all the struggles, and it's like I said to you, I was saying to you someone the other time. I said I wish I knew a few Nigerians who were millionaires when I came to this country.
Well,
You know,
well, okay.
I
Yeah.
wish I knew. I wish I had them as friends. I wish I knew what they knew. I wish I saw them to inspire me when I came in 19, 20 years ago. I wish I
Okay.
knew them.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
so
when
times have changed.
I first came to this country, I knew a few.
Wow, you're one of the
Well,
lucky ones.
I see. Listen. I knew a few, but the mentality I had wasn't geared to learn from them. Okay, I had a different mentality than the one I have not today. Okay, and I missed a few opportunities. To learn from them. Okay. Anyway, see, Daniel. See, I would like you to introduce yourself to my audience and tell them what you do.
Great. Thank you so much, Ekene, for having me on your podcast. I'm so super humbled to have been invited to this great interview. My name is Dr. Daniel Moses. I am a property entrepreneur, a property consultant, coach, mentor, also help others to invest in property and help others to create property portfolio using our methods and processes that we have used over the last 6 years. We've been in the property industry to scale and grow their portfolio. So I'm also a keynote speaker, Amazon bestseller, and also a podcaster just like yourself.
Yes.
I own the podcast called the Wealth and Business Podcast, which is a podcast where we share people's journeys and stories, especially the journey of the ordinary becoming extraordinary. So yeah, that's just me. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Welcome. So, like you just said, you are so many different things. Okay. You are an entrepreneur, a bestseller, an author, public speaker, podcaster, millionaire mentor, everything. Okay. So I want you to just take some time, tell us your journey. Okay. Because I know you didn't start from here. Okay. Like we have already talked earlier. Yes. You didn't start as you are. Okay. Yes. Now your journey will be very vital to me and my audience. Tell us your journey. How did you get here?
Oh, thank you so much. I always love that part when people ask me about my journey.
Yes.
Because one of the things is always when people look at success in general, people look at success and a lot of people focus and see more of the glory rather than the actual way it started from. So I was born and raised in Nigeria in a small city called Edo State. My father, and my mother, where they raised me as a very, responsible child. At least I've never gotten into any sort of dangerous trouble. Yes,
like
I've been
like
naughty
myself.
I've been naughty once in a while in my life. But yeah, so that's just me. I'm a I'm the 26th born of my late father. I have
Wow.
30 children. My mother is the second wife of about approximately 7 wives. Although he had more concubines, but 7 wives. And you know what it is, raised,
Yeah.
being born and raised in Africa. Polygamy is normal in
Yeah.
that particular generation. In
Yeah.
fact, and that's the kind of family I came from. So, going through primary school to secondary school to university, I went to University of Benin. And during the last year of my studying anthropology, sociology, and anthropology, I wanted to kind of escape out of Nigeria due to the pressure, you know, due to the challenges that I was basically facing at the time in my life in the university. Now, one of the challenges was I was, once upon a time, in my second year or so, I became quite famous in school, became quite popular because I sold clothes, cars. My elder brothers lived in Japan, at that time. So they bring all these different types of things into Nigeria. I would sell them. So I became quite popular, quite known. So
Entrepreneur.
yes. So I was quite very bubbly, and I became friends with friends and other friends and other friends. And I
Yeah.
remember, before you know what's happening, you feel like you needed to be protected. You needed to be protected. You needed to become a member of a particular groups and stuff like that. So at some point for me, I just felt like, okay, so became a member of a group, and in the end, it wasn't really what I really envisaged it would be. And I got fed up with it. And I just said, you know what? I can't put myself whereby I could be killed. I can't. My mother already lost one child already. All right. And, before I was born, my mother had already lost one child already before I was born. And I said, I wasn't prepared to be killed. I wasn't prepared for her to go through that the second time. So I had to find my way out of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So find my way out of Nigeria. I wanted to go to America. I didn't get a visa. I wanted to go to Canada. I didn't get a visa. I wanted to come to UK. The UK never let me in. At some point, they finally let me in, and I came to the UK. So coming to the UK, no brother, no sister, no really close family relative, you know. And I went through that phase of my life whereby coming into this country, you know how it is. When you don't know anybody, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Slept through the floors, did all types of linear jobs, trying to settle, and that took me through the very first 2 years, around about just almost 2 years of my journey. Then meeting my wife the following years. I met my wife, in October, around about October 2000 and probably around about October 2005 or so. I met my wife. Meeting my wife here, who was a non-Nigerian. She was born, bred in Uganda. No, she was born, in Uganda, but she came here very young, really, really young. So she's more born here, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I met my wife.
The culture.
Yeah, exactly. Met my wife here. She's not Nigerian. She's from Uganda. She's British. She is in this country. We met. We fell in love. And falling in love then leads to more reason why actually, I thought, okay, yeah, I'm seeing the greener light now. We got a great relationship. So we kind of fostered our relationship very quickly. A couple of months later, we got married, and we decided to raise a family. And raising the family, we got married, I had two beautiful children, Abraham and Angel. My first is 14 years old now. My second is 12. So we started to raise family together. At that time, I did all sort of businesses, security guards, like I said, linear job. You name it, I've done it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the life I ran away from way back in Africa was, the insecurity, rather not to be killed, but to come to this country and to live a better life. Well, in 2012, that better life that I thought I would get, and all the other money or all the good things, it wasn't really forthcoming. So actually, I was frustrated after frustration after frustration. And at that point, I decided to relocate back to Nigeria. Relocated back to Nigeria because now I've got friends there. I've got my mom there. I've got my brothers there. I've got literally my immediate family there. Even though my wife is here, I still miss them. But I always went back home. Always went back home. At every given point in time, always went back home. So I went back to Nigeria. I went to start an oil and gas business. So which was moving petroleum products from point A to point B to point C,
Yeah.
to petrol stations, and we'll take the petroleum product, give it to the petrol stations. Sometimes they will sell it to pay you back.
Yeah.
Then, which allows you to make more profit.
I've done that too.
Great. Fantastic. You know where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
I did that, and very quickly I was making good money. I was making, over 7-8 naira per product. It's really, really good, lucrative. The business started to grow. I was managing it, had, multiple drivers working for me until this very fateful time in 2015, where two of my trailers loaded products with, 65,000 liters tanker, two of them ran into each other around Lokoja area in Nigeria.
Ooh.
And literally fell into the valley and burst into flame. And literally, I was so lucky that nobody died. My drivers escaped. And, it's quite a very emotional story, but I'm not going to go into it because every time I go into the story, it brings tears to my eyes. So I'm going to avoid it.
Wow.
So, and that was just that. So I lost over 150,000 pounds equivalently, and when I lost that money, to me, one thing just struck me, was it that I was chasing shadows? Was it that what is it that I'm chasing that I wanted to become? What is it that I'm looking for that I wanted to become? I've literally done so many things in a short space of time in my life, from, migrating from 2004 to this country, to going through that phase of my life, challenges after challenges, nothing is ever working. The only thing that I got left with was entrepreneurship wasn't for me. I'm useless.
Wow.
And the only thing that came into my head that it's done, is finished. And I remember coming back to London in 2015, 2015, and through that 2016, and just, being depressed, completely depressed in my life, going through anxiety, going through all manners of things. And just now wondering, okay, I've tasted a bit of wealth. I've tasted a bit of money. I've tasted a bit of success. What else can I do now? I remember my wife asking me, what next? And I looked back in my wife and said to her, I don't know. I think it's done. I'm useless now. I maybe just go and, just maybe go back to those linear jobs I've always done. To behold, the only thing I could do, because I've never really had a proper job or a proper corporate life, the only thing I could do was delivery driver. From delivery driver, I got a job as an Uber driver, got my license, and that was the only thing I was able to do. And I just went through that phase of my life. So I think I'll leave it that for now. If you've got any more questions around that, then we'll move on.
Wow. See,